Lighting the fire is a beginning practice, maybe for the early morning or for a gentle beginning if you're new to yoga. And we can begin in a comfortable seated position, just focusing on the breath and drawing our attention inwards. When we focus on the breath, we begin to develop concentration and tranquility of mind. And now dedicating the practice by drawing your hands to your heart in prayer pose. And now let's begin. We can shift off of any cushions we're using and come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Take a few deep breaths, lift up through the crown of the head, and exhale, release and relax. We're going to begin with Sufi grinding, which is a circular movement of the upper body and torso. Gentle opener for the spine. So this class is really designed to get you moving in the morning if you're feeling stiff and tired and just trying to build some energy. And then after we get the body moving, we can move on to more difficult asanas, especially after our strength has built. We practice this series here regularly for a few months or so. You can notice increased flexibility and strength, just ready for moving into deeper asanas. We can reverse the direction here of our circle, just exploring. Inhale as we come forward, exhale back, or connecting with the breath in some other pattern. Just noticing what feels right for you and going with that. And beginning to slow, come back to center. Take a big breath in, and then bring your hands down to the shins. And inhale, draw the chest forward. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale, draw the chest forward. And exhale, rock back. Just going to flow like that. Continue. Follow your breath. Really nice opener here for the thoracic spine. And gently release. Bring the hands to the shoulders, thumbs back and your fingers on the front side. And gentle rotation left and right. Keep the elbows lifted. Lift up through the crown of the head. Keep going. Keep breathing. The elbows will tend to want to come down, so lift them up. And exhale, release. And left ear to left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Just play with the neck here. Make some gentle circular movements. And release. Come to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, lower down to the heart. And inhale, sweep the arms up again. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to shift to all fours. So hands are underneath the shoulders. Check in with your foundation and press back to child's pose. So release the hips down to the ankles. Just let the lower ribs and the upper chest just drape over the thighs. And not bending at the elbows. The arms are really comfortable here. Just opening in the lower back. We'll press up part way here. Going to move a little deeper in the shoulders. Widen the knees out towards the edge of the mat. Walk the hands forward in extended child's. You can feel a bit of an opening here in the shoulders, armpits. Just wiggle the hands far forward and find an edge there in the armpits and shoulders. And then shifting the hips forward so the thighs are perpendicular to the ground. Knees are still wide to the edges of the mat, big toes touching. And walk the hands out in front for Anahatasana or heart opener. Just relax in the abdomen and lower back. This is a deeper opening in the shoulders and arms, so we're kind of progressively going a little deeper into the shoulders and chest opening. And steady breath. Just concentrate on the breath. Then moving on, we'll shift the weight forward onto the forearms. Walk the knees in. Come up onto all fours for cat-cow. To begin, inhale, we let the belly drop, lift the chin. Exhale, rounding the spine and draw the chin to the chest. Just continue to flow with the breath. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, rounding, chin to chest. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round in. And curling the toes under. Check with your foundation with your hands. Spread the fingers wide and come up in downward facing dog. Lift the knees up off the mat. Release sit bones up and back. Release down through the ankles, calves. You can pedal your feet. Allow some movement here in downward facing dog. And check in with your breath. Just notice if it's becoming stiff or if you're holding your breath. Keep it flowing. And with an inhale, we'll shift forward to plank pose. The shoulders right over the wrists, the hips level with the shoulders. And exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. We'll do that a few times here. Inhale, forward to plank. And exhale, press it back. Flow with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. You can do it at your own pace here. Inhale, come forward, and exhale, release it back. We're going to come down to our knees now and then sit down and extend the left leg out in front. Bending the right knee in, the sole of the right foot presses to the inner thigh of the left leg for Janu Shirsasana. And folding over the left leg is a hamstring opener. You can use a gentle traction by holding on to the ankle, drawing yourself in. And switching sides. Extend the right and draw in the left leg. Fold forward. On the right side. And breathe. Gentle release. We'll straighten both legs, so both legs out in front for forward fold. And release. Let's come upright for Baddha Konasana. Draw the soles of the feet together in front. Wrap your hands around your toes, fold forward. Just leave with the crown, the forehead can come down towards the toes. And releasing again for Navasana or half boat here. Lift the feet up off the mat. Use your hands for support on your knees. Check in with your lower back. Just point the tailbone. Flatten out the lower back and release the hands. Just hold steady. Take a few breaths here. And then cross at the ankles, release down. And bring the hands down to the mat at your sides and press and lift. We'll do that a few times. So return to Navasana. Hold steady. And gently releasing down. Pressing into the mat and lift. Lift your bum right up off the mat. Hold for a second or two and release it down. Again, Navasana. And release it down and lift. Then coming back to all fours again. Move back into cat-cow. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round. Draw the chin to the chest. And continue on. Flow with the breath. Curling the toes under, we'll press back in downward facing dog. And pedal the knees forward, pedal the feet. And root down through the hands, rebound up through the hips. And inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, draw it into the chest. Inhale, press it back. And exhale, draw it into the chest. When we draw it in, we bring the shoulders over the wrists in a plank pose. Just do that a few more times. And switching sides. So if you're really new to yoga, this can be difficult on the wrists, so maybe do a few less rounds or maybe more, just depends on how you feel. Left side. Inhale, press back. And exhale, draw it into the center. Just keep going. And release it down. Release the knees down to the mat. And make your way down onto your back. Bending at the knees, draw the knees into the chest. And gently rock side to side. And release the soles of the feet down to the mat. And let the knees fall to the right side. Spinal twist. And switch sides. So just a few seconds on each side here. Opening the spine. Releasing the lower back. Come back to center. Gentle bridge. Leave the hands alongside the body here. Press into the soles of the feet. Lift the hips. Hold steady. Maybe 3 to 5 breaths. And then gently lowering down. And again. And crossing the right shin over the left thigh for thread the needle. Right hand comes underneath the right calf and interlace the fingers on the left side. Lay back, relax the neck and head. And draw the left knee in. Opening in the outer hip on the right side. Switch sides. Left ankle over right knee. And interlace on the right side. And release it down. Uncross the legs. Draw the knees into the chest. Now lift the head up off the mat. Draw the forehead into the knees. Just curl up in a little ball. Give a good squeeze. Hold firm. Whenever you're ready, we'll release it down. Bring your hands under your bum for support. We're going to do some leg lifts. Inhale. Lift the feet up to the ceiling. And exhale. Lower down slowly. Coming all the way down to the mat. Begin again. Inhale and lift. And exhale, releasing down. Inhaling, lift. You can go at your own pace here. Do a few more rounds. Exhale to slowly lower down. Let's continue on. Inhaling, lift. And exhale, slowly lower. And let's keep going. Good job, everyone. Nice core building practice. If you do this every morning, you're bound to build strength. And release. Let's draw the soles of the feet in. Draw the knees in. And then rocking forward and back. You can rock upright. And come back to all fours. Beginning again with cat-cow. So we have an emphasis here in the spine, keeping the spine nice and warm and flexible. It's a good way to have a good foundation for our practice. Just keep it with the core, developing strength and flexibility in the core. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, release. One more time through downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under and lift the sit bones up and back. And when you're ready, we'll begin again with the movement to plank. With an inhale, we shift the weight forward, shoulders over the wrists. Hips level with the shoulders, and exhaling, press it back, downward facing dog. Just continue on, follow with your breath. Inhale, rock forward, plank. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. And release. Knees down to the mat. Return to a seated position. Cross-legged Sukhasana. And fold forward. Just release right into the lap. So walk your hands out in front. And just let gravity do the work here. Nice opener for the lower back. And then inhale, walk the hands in, rise up. And twisting Left hand comes across to the right knee, twisting to the right side. And release. Other side, twist. And release. And again, rocking forward and back, bring the hands to the shins. So as we begin to draw towards the end of our class here, just reconnect with the core, with the spine. Strong connection with the breath here. Bring the hands to the shoulders again, rocking left and right. Inhale left, exhale right. Keep the elbows lifted. Keep going. Keep breathing. And gently release it down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hold steady. Just opening across the chest, the heart. And exhaling, release the hands down to the heart. Connecting with gratitude. Appreciating the practice of yoga. And in gratitude for all the things that support us and sustain us. Namaste. Hope you have a great day. And try this sequence whenever you want to do a little pickup in the morning, or for building strength if you're just beginning a yoga practice. Nice gentle way to get started. Thanks so much for joining me here on bloomyoga.org. Have a great day.